Hey, good morning and happy Monday. Another rainy day here in the Pacific Northwest. Actually, it's not as cold as they predicted it would be, which is okay with me. So we were up in Leavenworth this weekend for the Christmas tree lighting festival, and this might be the last year that we end up doing this on a weekend. We might actually end up having to resort to going during the weekdays because the weekends there's just so many people, and it was. I'm glad that I went into the Kris Kringle ornament store during the summer after I did my hike to pick out a Christmas ornament, because there was no way you're gonna get much in there, especially with a kid or it's 2 years old, with all these people around and it's wet or it's cold out and there's so many people. So I'm glad I got our Christmas ornaments this year before this weekend, and it wasn't snowy. It was just kind of just cold, but we did plan well for keeping ourselves warm. It was just a lot of people, but we did get I got my beer and brat. I was happy. And just on the way home, it was a lot of driving for the kids, a lot of driving for the adults, and I fell asleep like a champ last night, and I slept hard. But one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning, and I just have noticed this, is that over the years I have, as a man, as a young adult male, I have attached myself and my ego to the outcome of sporting events. There were times I can remember vividly in my head where I cried because the team that I was rooting for lost a heartbreaking game, or lost the outcome of the game wasn't in my favor, and so I allowed myself to get over emotional. And there are times where I yell at the screen. There's times where I yell at the plays. I just get into the act of the game and things like that, and I have just gotten to the point in my life where it just doesn't matter to me. The team that has such an emotional connection with me is the University of Washington Husky football team and the basketball team. The reason is because I went to that school. I graduated. I spent years on that campus, engaging with, I met some of the players. I didn't have any classes with them that I remember, because I took a lot of accelerated political science classes, but I don't think any of them were in those classes, but you never know. But I remember seeing them at like Safeway. I remember running into them on campus, and it's just, that was such a difficult time for me, and a growing time for me, that spending time at the University of Washington I felt the connection. It's a part of me, And when it comes to like baseball, the Mariners, it's such a huge part of my life because that was my childhood. It was my mom taking us to games, watching them with us and teaching us, hey, this is an important game, we need to watch this. And she had such a great understanding for baseball and appreciation for baseball that I still love so much about baseball because of her, But when it comes to just football, NFL football, I see so many guys that just get so caught up in it, and they get so angry and so emotional over the outcome of a football game. And to make things even more difficult is when you have fantasy football teams, when you're rooting for players and not necessarily just teams. When a team is at the goal line and you have a running back and they end up doing a passing play and you get deprived of points because your guy is usually the go-to running back, you get pissed off. And so I don't do fantasy football because of that reason, and I don't allow the outcome of the NFL football game to piss me off. Like the Seahawks yesterday, they got whooped by the Rams, 42-7. They got whooped. And so, it's like some people spend a lot of money. The last game I went to was a Rams game. The Seahawks won that game handily. It was last year, the Thursday night game. And I paid, a decent amount for the tickets. I didn't pay much more than face value. I think they're $88 tickets, and I paid maybe $95. So it wasn't much. But, we got to go to a game. It was nice. It was cold, but it was nice. I still support the team. But it's just to allow the outcome of a sporting event to dictate your day, to piss you off, to ruin your day, to ruin your week, and have other people go, my team won and yours didn't. It's like, who cares? what did you do? You know, what did you do? It's just people allow their egos to get tied into things that are, you know, have nothing to do with them. You did nothing to contribute to the win or the loss of your particular team. You did absolutely nothing other than root for them and buy their t-shirts and buy their jerseys and their hats and all that stuff. And it's like, people just have come to the point where, a lot of people have come to the point where they attach their egos to sporting teams. And it's like I paid a lot of money last year to go to the Peach Bowl down in Georgia to watch Alabama play the Washington Huskies. And the Huskies got dominated that game. You know, it was a very Alabama-oriented game. It was just Southern football, you know, SEC, you know, and an SEC dome and SEC crowd, and we got to face what really Southern football is all about. And I didn't cry about it. I didn't mope. I didn't drink myself. I actually just, you know, it's like, it's a football game. There are bigger things out there. You have a kid. You have a woman that loves you. You know, you've got all this stuff. You don't need to put your ego on the line in your day and allow a football team to dictate how you feel about your life, about your family, about your friends. It's like, it's stupid. And I see so many people on Facebook that just talk about it. You know, where's your team at now, man? And, you know, where all the Seahawks fans at? Or, you know, Raider fans. And it's like, all these people, where are your Packers at? And it's like, who cares? You know, it's NFL football. You don't play it. You have, you know, the only thing you get to do is say, oh, I root for them and they won, yay. You know, it has nothing to do with that. So I don't have much of an emotional attachment to sports anymore. You know, it's just, I enjoy watching the games and having fun and, you know, rooting for the Huskies and things like that. But Mariner baseball is probably the biggest major sport in my life, simply because of that reason of my family and my dad or my mom raising me up to take me to games and stuff. And then other than that, though, it's just NFL football is just not the biggest thing in my life, and I don't allow it to be, and it doesn't need to be. So I just find it entertaining when grown men allow the outcome of a sporting event to ruin their day, to cause them to throw things, to cause them to throw chips and to break TVs and to scream and yell and get themselves on video, and it's embarrassing. You know, as a man, it's like, it's embarrassing. And so, you know, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do, you know. So, but for me, the outcome of a football game is rather ridiculous. And so that's what I feel is on my mind today on Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's get this Monday started, this week started. Last week before Christmas, get your Christmas shopping done. I have a few more things I need to get, but I should be okay. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.